Hi everyone! Today I'm going to talk about how to write a product specification sheet. When import from China, relying on only a few photos and then asking for best quality simply does not work. Much of the quality issues could have been prevented if these importers had prepared a proper product specification sheet upfront. In this video, I will show you how to do this. First, what is a product specification sheet? A product specification sheet is a detailed, concise document that clearly describes all your product specifications. This master document is a great tool to assist suppliers and will help you get better results throughout the sourcing and production process. There are three reasons for why you need a product specification sheet. The first reason is to help factories understand your requirements. When you approach a factory, don't let them guess your requirements. This is a recipe for failure, especially in China. The more detailed you describe your product requirements up front, the better factories will understand what you are looking for. The second reason is to get better quotes. If a supplier doesn't know your exact requirements, how can they make an accurate price quotation? For example, if you want to source handbags and you ask for good quality leather, as you know, there are many different grades of leather and methods for tanning, and from which animal do you want your leather to be? Without a proper specification sheet, suppliers are going to quote you the lowest price based on the cheap quality standards. The third reason is to source higher quality goods. Chinese factories typically operate with relatively low profit margins. As such, they will take every opportunity to lower their costs. Clearly defining your product requirements will limit the room for suppliers to use cheaper materials, low-grade packaging, etc. Next, let's take a look at what is included in a product specification sheet. Usually, specification sheets don't have a required template. After a brief search on the internet, you will find out that different companies all use different forms. In addition, different types of products can have different dimensions to be included in the product specification sheet. And this is totally fine. As long as the list lists all the necessary requirements in an organized and easy to understand way for all parties involved, it can be used. I found that this following structure will work well when dealing with Chinese suppliers. First, you could have an introduction part, which can include product name, SKU or product code, product description, intended use, and reference photos. Also indicate the dimensions there. Then you can have the product requirements listed, including dimensions and weight, specific materials, tolerances on measurements if any, product colors, product performance such as durability, high temperature performance, and testing requirements such as least potential defects and what is expected. After this, you can list your packing and labeling requirements. For example, you can list your packaging specifications, labeling specifications, and testing requirements here, such as no damage after job test for this product. Followed by this part, you can also include the standards and certification part. Here, you can list out whether you have some requirements for the standards or certifications, such as the EU or USA compliance. And in the last part, which could be an optional part, you can list whether you have some special instructions, for example, whether you want a personal logo on the product. It very well could be that you read through this list and think, wow, but I have absolutely no clue about many of these aspects. And that's okay too. Maybe you have somebody in your network who can help you finalize the product specification sheet. Or you can consider to work with a third party to help you. Just make sure to fill in as much as possible, because the more detailed you describe your product requirements, the better. Next, what format should product specification sheets to be created in? The product specification sheets are created in Word or Excel, but you should send your suppliers a PDF file so that it could not be modified. Make sure that the sheet you send to the supplier has your contact number on every page, so that if any question is to be asked, then the supplier could contact you directly. Okay, next let's take a look at how to use your product specification sheet. After you have defined your product specification sheet, there will be several occasions where you can use it to your advantage. And here are some tips. First, you can use it in your requesting quotes. You should include your product specification sheet when sending out your RFQ pack to suppliers. As I explained earlier, this will help suppliers to really understand your product requirements. As such, they will be able to provide better quotations to you. Second, you can use it in your supplier contract and PO. It is wise to include your specification sheet in the contract with your supplier, or when changes will be made later on in your purchase order too. Make sure that the manufacturer understands your project well and let them agree, usually by signature, with the contents of your product specification sheet. This puts you in a stronger position in case you need to explore legal options in China after breach of contract. Finally, much of the information on the product specification sheet will be transferred into a quality control inspection list. Before a quality control inspector can perform product inspections in China, he needs to know your quality parameters, tolerance limits, packing and labeling requirements, certifications requirement, etc. Having this defined upfront will be of great help. Okay, as the last tip, for example, you create a sheet and send it to a supplier. Later, you learn more information that causes you to have to change the sheet. You then send the updated sheet to the supplier. In this situation, their document control now comes into question. They could easily make your order to the old sheet by accident. But if you had marked Revision 1 or Revision 2 on those documents, it is a line of defense against mistakes when you order and call out Revision 2 on the PO. Okay, that's all we have for today. Hope this little video can be helpful for you, and we will see you in our next one.